Right, let's jump straight into this explainer with a pretty brutal truth, and it's one that every single trader faces, whether you're on day 1 or year 10. You're sitting at your desk, the chart aligns perfectly with your strategy, the indicators are flashing green, but your finger just freezes over the buy button. Well, you don't hesitate because your setup is bad. You hesitate because you are absolutely terrified of being wrong. So today, we're going to unpack the psychological roadblocks that are literally destroying your trading consistency.
I absolutely love this quote because it completely flips the script on self-sabotage. Think about it. When you freeze or revenge trade or hold a losing position way past your stop loss, you tell yourself you're just trying to protect your capital, right? But it's not about the money at all. Your brain is actually trying to protect your identity.
All right, section 1, the real reason you lose.
So here's the thing. When your mind wires a losing trade to mean I am an incompetent trader, boom, it triggers a massive ego threat. A simple red number stops being just a piece of market data and suddenly becomes a direct attack on your self-worth. And the second this happens, you shift instantly from objective decision-making into pure, primal self-protection. You stop trading the market and you start trading your emotions.
Moving on to section 2, the psychology of being wrong.
Ever felt that literal pit in your stomach or a tightness in your chest after a bad trade? You aren't going crazy. Your brain is hardwired with a pain avoidance system that reacts to being wrong the exact same way it reacts to physical danger. You are biologically programmed to run away from the sensation of a losing trade.
And this biological wiring totally explains why cutting losers is so incredibly hard. The legendary behavioral economists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky proved that the pain of losing is roughly twice as intense as the joy of winning. Just think about that. Making $100 feels pretty good, but losing $100 feels like absolute misery. This loss aversion causes you to just freeze, like a deer in headlights, the moment a trade goes against you.
And then, oh man, we throw cognitive dissonance into the mix. Deep down, you believe, I am a smart, capable person, and I am a good trader. But the reality of a failing trade directly contradicts that belief. To resolve that intense psychological discomfort, your brain just distorts reality. Instead of accepting the loss and exiting, cognitive dissonance kicks in. It causes you to hold, justify, or even double down on a terrible position just to keep the dream alive that you might still be right.
Finally, to cap it all off and avoid feeling ashamed, your ego deploys the self-serving bias. Win a trade, you're a market genius who read the structure perfectly. But lose one? Suddenly the market is rigged, the news was totally unpredictable, or your broker's personally out to get you. Look, blaming the market might soothe your ego for a minute, but it completely prevents you from actually learning from your mistakes and growing.
Which brings us to section 3, patterns of self-sabotage. These are basically the 5 deadly sins of trading psychology, and they all grow from that exact same root. You hesitate to take a valid setup. Actually, scratch that, you freeze entirely, just to avoid the risk of being wrong. You cut your winners way too early to lock in that feeling of correctness. You hold losers, praying the market turns around to validate you. You revenge trade to immediately fix your bruised ego. And you overanalyze, staring at 10 different indicators, not to find a better edge, but to create an illusion of perfect control where you literally can't be wrong, even if your chart ends up looking like a messy, modern art masterpiece. What's really happening here is your System 2, your ego protector, is completely hijacking System 1, your rational trader. Your rational trader totally understands that the market is random and thinks in probabilities. But your ego protector? It demands absolute certainty and demands to be right. When you're revenge trading, System 1 is basically tied up in the trunk and System 2 is driving the car right off a cliff.
All right, let's flip the script. Section 4, the probability mindset shift. Take a really close look at this number. 50 to 60%. Even a phenomenal, highly profitable professional trading system usually only wins 50 to 60% of the time. This mathematically proves that being wrong isn't a failure, it is entirely expected. Half the time, the market is going to go against you, and that is just the cost of doing business. You've got to internalize this professional mindset. Trading is a probability game. For sure, not a correctness game. A trade can hit your stop loss, lose you money, and still be a perfectly good trade if it had a 55% edge over a sample size of 100 executions. You absolutely have to stop evaluating your worth on a trade-by-trade basis.
So, how do we fix it? Section 5, how to train your mind. Check out this breakdown. Notice how it completely reframes the word wrong. If you follow your trading system perfectly and you still hit a stop loss, that is a true win for your discipline.
you executed flawlessly. Conversely, if you break all your rules, revenge trade, and somehow luck into a profit, that is a true loss because you just reinforced terrible habits. You must judge yourself on your execution, never just your P&L. To kill that ego threat before it even starts, you need the pre-accept loss routine. Before you click buy or sell, you have to dictate your entry, your exact stop loss, and your position size. Then, literally look at the dollar amount you are risking and say out loud, I accept this loss fully. If you can't say it and mean it, your position size is way too big. Doing this drastically reduces the emotional shock if the trade actually goes south.
Next up, you need deliberate practice to normalize being wrong. I challenge you right now. Take your next 20 trades with the sole goal of flawless execution. Once you're in, no interfering, let it hit your target or hit your stop. Track how well you executed the plan, completely ignoring the money you made or lost, and journal it. Did you feel the urge to move your stop? Did you try to avoid being wrong? You have to build that wrongness muscle.
And when you inevitably hit that stop loss, because you will, you run the being wrong ritual. The exact moment it hits, say out loud, good trade. Log the data in your journal and move on immediately. By doing this exact routine every single time you take a loss, you rapidly rewire your brain's pain response. You're teaching your nervous system that a loss isn't a threat to your survival or your identity, it's just a mundane, everyday part of the process.
When you strip all the noise away, the deepest truth of this whole explainer is simply this. The fear of being wrong is really just the fear of losing control. Markets are inherently wild, random, and deeply uncertain. Your brain absolutely hates that uncertainty, so it seeks control. But your ego's desperate need for control, by hesitating, overanalyzing, and refusing to take a loss, is the exact thing guaranteeing your failure.
Look, the market is going to do whatever it wants. The only thing you can truly control is yourself. So I'll leave you with this. Are you going to spend another 5 years endlessly tweaking your strategy, searching for an impossible certainty? Or are you finally ready to face your ego, embrace probability, and fix the mind that actually executes the trades? The choice is entirely yours.
That's one more pattern. Named, understood, and now in your hands. Becoming a profitable trader isn't about the next setup. It's about becoming the person who can follow it. Subscribe for your regular bite of wisdom. Train the mind, the trades will follow.